Today it's been a while since we did a episode of Cooking with Koval. Today we're doing a stuffed flank steak with some mushrooms, asparagus, nice smoked provolone cheese, and some roasted red peppers. Get you a nice piece of flank steak. This piece here is roughly 2 pounds. It was like 1.89. But what you want to do to roll this and stuff it is you want to butterfly it. And I kind of took care of that. Nice sharp knife, get it up and kind of open it up as you go. And now what we're going to do is put a little salt and garlic on the inside here. And then some of my Henny Penny all-purpose rub on the inside of the flank steak. And then we're going to start putting in the stuffing. And I start with some nice smoked provolone. You could switch up the cheese. Some people may like a blue cheese. So you put cream cheese in here that kind of holds up a little better when you cook. But yeah, just kind of get creative. And when you stuff this, what you want to make sure is you have about a ½ an inch or so on your edges, so when you roll this, all the stuff's not going to kind of leak out all over the place when you roll this up and get it ready for the grill. So we got the cheese down. I'm going to take my mushrooms. And what I do with my mushrooms is we put them on a pan with some butter and garlic or olive oil, whatever you choose, and kind of cook them a little bit to get them soft, because this flank steak is not going to take that long on the grill. We kind of like our stuff at a medium rare, so it's not going to take that much to get up to temperature. So we'll go ahead and put our mushrooms on the inside of the flank steak here. Might be a little too much, but who doesn't like mushrooms? We'll go ahead and lay our asparagus. Kind of figured out across here. We're going to roll them, so we'll just do it this way. And again, make sure you're leaving your little bit of base on the outside, so when you roll it, it's not all going to hang out. Not a big deal, but kind of make it a little easier to cook. So we'll roll our asparagus here across. This will be a little snack. So we got our asparagus, and then we'll go ahead and put our red peppers across the top here. Here we go. And that's going to be our stuffing again. Smoked provolone cheese, mushrooms, asparagus, and red peppers. What we're going to do now is we're going to roll this. And when you see me again, this will be all rolled up. It'll be tied with butcher paper. I mean, butcher string, not butcher paper. That's when we're wrapping ribs and brisket. But we're going to tie this up to kind of keep the uniformity when we put it on the grill. When we come back, you'll see it all folded up and taped or tied, and we're going to heat up the big green egg. We're going to sear it for about 2 minutes all around, and then we'll let it go till the temperature hits about 135, and we'll take it off and slice it. So next time we come back, we'll be outside with the egg fired up to about 350 degrees, and we'll go from there. As you can see, we tied up our flank steak. We rolled it up. The cheese, the mushrooms, asparagus, roasted red peppers are all inside. And on the outside, I coated it with a coarse steak seasoning. This is going to give us that nice crust on the outside. I use the Outer Banks steak seasoning on this. You can use Montreal or anything that you got that you like. But again, you want it to be more coarse. It's going to give us that nice crust on the outside of this flank steak. So what we're going to do on the egg, it's up to about 400 degrees. Real quick, I want to sear this on each side, probably for about a minute or so. I just like to set my little timer here. We're going to go about 1 minute and 30 seconds, sear it all the way around. And then we're going to take this off. I'm going to put the place setter back in. We're going to cook it indirect up to the internal temperature. You'll see I'll put my probe in until it hits about 130. So real quick right now, I'm just going to go ahead and set it on here. We're going to sear it for about 1 minute or so, 1.5 minutes on each side. Just get that nice little, keep those juices inside searing the meat. Once I sear it on each side, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put my temperature probe in, and I'll put the plate setter back in, and when the internal temperature gets up to about 130 degrees, we're going to be ready to pull. So I'm going to go ahead and sear. put the temp in, put the plate setter back in, cook this indirect until the temperature gets to about 135, and you'll see it when we're ready to slice this boy. All right, now we have the flank steak. It's come up to about 130 degrees, rose up a little bit, 131. Go ahead and pull the probe. We're gonna take this off. You see I got the crust on the outside. Cheese is dripping out a little bit. And now here comes the hard part, because we gotta let this sit for about 10 or 15 minutes before we cut into it. So we're gonna take it off, set it down inside, and in about 10-15 minutes, cut it. We'll let you know how it turned out. So we got the stuffed flank steak off the grill. And the nice thing when you tie this up, it gives you kind of idea of where you can cut it for your slices. So it's been sitting for about 10 minutes or so. We're gonna go ahead and slice into this and see what we got here. First thing, first time making this. So you can see, still has that little, it's a little more medium than medium rare, but everything is cooked through. Slice it up. We'll give the taste tester here, AJ, the mushrooms and the piece of steak there. Go ahead and take a little bite. How is that? Cut a little piece here. A little piece of this pepper. Oh. The red pepper, the cheese, asparagus, mushrooms, are delicious. Like I said, having fun over this quarantine. Hopefully things now are starting to get back to normal. But flank steak, like I said, tie it up, stuff it, asparagus, some nice smoked provolone cheese, mushrooms, and roasted red peppers. Went on the grill. I seared it for about 1.5 minutes all the way around. We put it on the egg, put the plate setter back in on indirect until we reached about 130 degrees. You see it comes out to a perfect medium. Incredible with the asparagus, the mushrooms, and the cheese. Like I said, you like what I'm doing, it's just having fun in the backyard, cooking with Koval. Subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next episode.